Hello, everyone. Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Thank you for joining us for another edition of Style Tips and Tricks. My name is Angie, and I'm the lead designer and owner of Hair Collections. And we are joined today by the amazing Jasmin from Jasmin May Photography. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you? I'm so excited.
Good. I know. I'm kind of excited and kind of sad because we're going to be finishing our series of you and the concept of self-love and how that can be created through the eyes of a camera, or I guess through the camera lens. But, so it's kind of exciting because you're here again to join us for another series, but kind of sad because it's the last of it. But if you guys haven't watched or listened to the last two episodes, I would highly suggest for you to pause this one and go and listen to the other ones, because in it gives some really great backstory of how we originally began working together by doing a photo shoot and meeting on the day of the shoot, not actually meeting in person ever. And it just was such a magical experience. I absolutely loved the photo shoot. It was great. It was wonderful. And I'm definitely do it again in a heartbeat. But the reason why we started to do these series is because both you and I, from different points of the spectrum of our industry, really value the concept of doing self-love and having a high regard for it in our businesses. With Hair Collections, we're all about loving your curves and loving yourself and being confident. And we built our whole brand around it. But for you as a photographer, you're the one who's actually capturing that sense of self-confidence. And if you guys haven't watched last episodes, we were talking about a couple of examples that you just had recently of men and women who you really got to bring out their entire confidence was like oozing out of them basically from their experiences working with you. And it's something that I put a really high value on, because doing photo shoots can be very scary for us normal people. It can be very intimidating, and I think the worst case scenario is always what we think is going to happen, and that is that the photo shoot is going to be a bust, you're going to look horrible, and you're going to hate the photos. And I'm sure you've had people actually get to the set or get to the event that you're supposed to film, and actually, I don't know if they actually vocalize it or if they, communicate it in another way about how nervous they are. Have you ever had anyone go, oh, I don't want to do this because it's not going to go well?
Not so much verbally, but I think through my degree, I can pick up on social cues and body language. So I think almost all of my photo shoots, there's always been someone who is really, really nervous. And so it's definitely, and I mean, I'm always really nervous, but I think it's good to have nerves because it means you care. Yes. And so I'm always nervous going into it as well, but I take some time for us all to get to know each other. And I send out questionnaires when they first book to get to know them. If it's an engagement shoot, get to know them as a couple, what they like to do. Sometimes we incorporate what they like to do. I've done a few picnics because they like to go to parks and have picnics, and I've done a few where they read together on a picnic rug because that's what they do, or they play board games or something. So I try and incorporate who they are as a couple and as people, so that it's as if I'm not there. Even though that sounds funny, I just try to make it as though they're just hanging out and I'm just there to capture their true selves.
Yeah, and you're really good at that. There was actually, thinking of the hanging out like I'm not there, during the photo shoot, one of our models, she had just come in. She came in to save the day because one of our models that we had planned to come for that day had to unfortunately cancel. And you had her sitting on the couch, and she was a bit nervous because, again, she hadn't planned to actually do the shoot at all until the day of. And she was a bit nervous. So you just got her laughing. And I think you guys were joking back and forth, just doing banter while you were taking photos. And it's actually my favorite photos of that model is on that one scene where she's on the couch, because she's exuding her personality, because it's her laughing, beautiful, like not ugly laughing, but beautiful. It's like one of those things. She looks so happy and confident and just radiating. And
it almost looks like it could be like a fake laugh. Like it was almost I told her so a fake laugh.
Yeah. But it was actually, you took the time and you're like, just sit like you would, like just sit comfortably, just chill out on the couch. And she did. And we got some great shots from her just relaxing, which is important. But, throughout the series, we've been really discussing the concept of self-love and confidence. And I kind of realized, we've been talking about how it affects both of our clients from both of our businesses, but we haven't really talked about your own development over time, because even though you're young, you've really done a lot of work in this section of your life. And I think that's why you're such a good photographer and you're such a good entrepreneur, is that you've done this self-development and self-work. So I thought we could chat about it just a little bit. You're all right with that? So
yeah, sounds good.
Love it. In regards to self-confidence and self-love, what hurdles have you had to face growing up, and how did you overcome them?
I mean, all through primary school and majority of high school, I was bullied quite severely, called names, and most people go through that. But I think for me, I struggled a lot with it because I didn't really have that confidence in myself. So what they were saying to me, I was believing. And I didn't really have too many friends. And the ones that I thought were the close friends turned out not to be. So I was constantly battling. Yeah. I mean, it's a high school thing, but I was constantly battling between friend groups who one minute would say that they were my friend and next minute they weren't. And, and it happened to be when I would share who I am as a person or something that they would choose not to be my friend. So obviously that wasn't very, but that wasn't very reassuring when you think you're getting a handle on self-love and then someone turns around and says that they don't like you as a person anymore. So I definitely think that was a big hurdle for me. And it did come with age and maturity, but I think it came with, honestly, I wish I could have a book, but I just really don't know. There was no set thing that I did. I think I started actually having comebacks to what they were saying.
Nice.
And I would just not listen to what they were saying, and I just wouldn't give them any reply sometimes. And it just stopped them even trying because they weren't getting anything out of me. So I think that slowed down that process. And then I think it just went with me being happy with who I am and just growing as a person. Just growing and growing up all worked together.
I love it. And I know in past, when we've kind of been talking about this, it was one of those things that we both agreed that confidence is easier said than done. You can say that you want to be confident in yourself in every aspect of yourself, especially for us, we're entrepreneurs. But I don't know about you, but for me, confidence and self-love is an everyday thing that I work on. It's something that it's an inner battle. Some days you have good days, some days you don't have great days.
Yes.
But I really like how you said it to me one day. I think it was just on Messenger, about how it's embracing, the main thing is embracing who you are and just being confident that that is enough. When do you think that became a big thing with you of, understanding that this is who you are? Like, if people don't like that or want to bully you or whatever, when did you think you got to the point that you were like, that's fine? Because that's hard. And I think that's for any age. Yeah, definitely. I think sometimes I still go back and forth, and I'm not, we do have good days and bad days. But I think it came, honestly, only a few years ago. I think once I got out of high school, that definitely was a huge hurdle from that. But once I came out of high school and started having to do things on my own, and going to university definitely showed me the person that I am, and allowed me to start knowing that this is the person that I want to be and the person that I am. And I think a big thing was, if I didn't like the person that I was, I would change things around me, not me as a person, but if I didn't like that I slept in really late, I actually went and changed careers, or went and changed jobs. And I started getting into a routine of waking up earlier and earlier. And, if I didn't like my body certain times, I would go and put in the effort to just at least go for a walk, or something outdoors, outside. So I put in the effort to make me feel better about myself. And then that in turn made me overall feel better about myself. So I would change little aspects of my routine. And that ended up just making me feel a little bit more happier inside. And That's so good. And it's like, I'm really big on saying that, diets don't work. Diets don't work. And then just waking up one day saying that you love yourself, that doesn't work either. Like you said, it's changing your routines and making that plan and that decision to keep that routine going that is going to help you for the better. So I love that you mentioned that. And I love, putting your needs above others also, I think, is really difficult for a lot of us as well. And having the courage to say, no, I like the way I am, actually. I think I'm pretty awesome. And putting that above what other people might be saying or anything like that. I think it's really inspiring, actually. That you've gone through and done that, and you've been able to create the beautiful person that you are now, and then try and help to do that with all of your clients.
Yeah, definitely think it is. Yeah, it is a hard thing, but it's so fulfilling once you get to that spot in life and your outlook just completely changes. I'm doing the same thing every single day that I was doing, a year or 2 years ago, but every single day I wake up and I'm really, really happy to be doing what I'm doing because I'm surrounded by people that I love and I care about. And I think that's a big important thing. I'm fortunate enough to have a really supportive and loving family. And I know a lot of people aren't, so that's hard, but I'm fortunate enough that they love me for who I am, and that really makes me appreciate it. And then I think surrounding yourself with really good friends. I have definitely, I think, 2 or 3 main friends who, I can see them as lifelong friends. And for me growing up, I wanted quantity over quality. And definitely when you get a bit older, you realize that that's not a thing and that you'll probably only have, I don't know, a really small group of people that you'll want to be friends with. But I definitely think that speaks volumes on who you are as a person. You just ask yourself, can I see myself being who I am or who I think I am around this person? And do they appreciate it fully for who I am? And that really, really, really helps.
Yeah, that definitely actually speaks volumes to me. And I've never even realized it until you said that. Growing up, I didn't have a heap of friends either. And I did also struggle with friend groups. And it wasn't so much because of bullying. I had a lot of bullying in primary school, but that's because I was a walking injured person. So that had nothing to do with it. But in high school, I found I had an issue because I had such low self-esteem and such low self-worth that I had trouble finding people who actually cared about me because I didn't really care about myself back then. Yeah. So that was, I think, my main issue. But, definitely growing up and valuing myself more, I can basically count my really good friends on my hand.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're the ones that we travel interstate to see each other. I've got a couple friends over in Canada that I actually only see once every 4 years or something. Aww. And we pick up right where we left off 4 years later. And
exactly.
It makes a big difference. It really
does.
Yeah.
It does.
Definitely agree with that. Now, I know there's a couple things that you and I both have started doing in our journey to really being comfortable and loving ourselves. And that's, things like journaling, practicing gratitude, surrounding yourself with people who actually embrace you, and then, doing that consistent work. So I know with me, I do affirmations like every day. I have a little thing, I rip off a sheet of paper and I do an affirmation and I remind myself what I'm grateful for, because sometimes we can be our own worst enemy when we don't actually go, oh, my life is actually pretty good. I'm pretty happy today. I'm letting other people think that I'm letting other people make me believe I'm not happy, but I'm actually happy today.
Yeah.
Right. The society standards of looking at people's pretend lives on Instagram or something, being like, oh, their life is so amazing. It's like, well, my life is amazing. I actually am really happy what I'm doing and what I'm like and all those things.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that you do that routine to, reminding yourself, I am 100% awesome. And I'm just going to keep reminding myself that every day.
Yeah, it's good.
It's amazing. And it definitely comes through your work. So for anyone listening to this, definitely follow Jasmin. She's amazing. Seeing her working her magic, it was incredible. Like, you really bring the work that you've done yourself to your clients. Being a body positivity brand, it was something that was really important for us to make sure that we were going to partner with someone who would do that for our models, because they were really cool, and you nailed it.
Yeah, I'm so thankful to have met you.
Oh, same.
I'm just your brand is it's just so amazing. It's so good to see people out there, and fashion brands particularly, just creating clothes for real women. And I can't count how many times I've gone shopping and I'm a size 16, and I'm not that sizes matter, but it's quite deflating when
you're not a size.
You think 16. You're one size. No, but in some clothes I am. And then I was so shocked when you gave me a few of your clothes that you pulled out a size 10 jeans, and I went, there's no way that's going to fit me.
Because I remember I was like, no, go back in that room and try it on.
And I'm literally like, no, I'm a size 14 jeans, and now I wear them every day. They are so comfortable and they are so flattering. I've never found a piece of jean like, oh my god, they're so flattering. I get compliments all the time, and I'm always like, check out Pair Collections.
I love it. I'm wearing our jeans right now, actually. I love them as well. I wear them nonstop. They're so comfy,
so comfortable. They're honestly like, they're just the right amount of stretch as well. Like, they're not as tight as denim is, but they're not like tight.
They're not like those jeans.
Jeans. Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah, they actually are jeans.
I love them, and it was so great to watch you try on the clothes, and watch you be like, no, these are not going to fit me, and then your face when they did, and you came out, you're like,
I know, I was like, oh no. And I was looking in the mirror when I was getting changed, and I was like, who's this? Like, I'm pretty confident as it is, but that was like a whole nother step of confidence, because I was always trying to fight how deflating it felt trying on clothes and it not being representative of who I thought I was.
Yeah.
And and then when you find a piece of clothing that actually fits, that is something that's really, really helpful for your self-love, because it creates and it reflects who you actually are as a person. That sounds so cheesy, but honestly, dressing for your body type and it actually working is just a whole nother level.
It makes such a difference. Like, you know, I've created this business because I couldn't find clothes that fit me, and it was so demoralizing coming from the fashion industry as well.
Yeah.
So I'm so happy you found some items that make you smile every time you wear them. But to finish off this series, I thought it would be nice, because I find you really inspiring and really inspirational just in general as a person, let alone an entrepreneur. But I thought it would be nice to see if you have any guidance or words of wisdom or any suggestions for our viewers who might be struggling with the concept of their own self-love and confidence that you might want to share from your own experience and as a photographer who specializes in bringing that out in their clients.
Yeah, there's two quotes that really, really speak to me that I saw when I was younger, and I've remembered them the whole time. There was one, and I'm pretty sure it's by Rihanna or something. It's something so weird, but what she said is so fitting. So it was, people are going to talk whether you're doing bad or good. And that to me
was Rihanna. I remember
that to me was like, oh, right, I'm going to get bullied no matter what. If I don't like myself, or if I like myself, I'm going to get bullied. So why not just own that and like myself? And the bullying will not hurt as much as it did when I didn't like myself. So that was one of them. That was really, really helpful. And also in my field, there's always people better than me, or there's people that I think are better than me, and I struggle constantly that I'm not good enough. It's very competitive.
It's a thing.
Yes, it's a thing. But that really helped me, that if I'm happy with who I am, and people are going to talk about me or mention me, if, you know, whether I'm doing good or whether I'm doing bad. So that was really, really helpful. And I definitely recommend taking that on board if that has the same reassurance that it did for me. And then another one was in terms of photography. Yes, it does help to see you through the lens, but I did see a post or a caption or a quote or something a little while ago that said, have you ever tried to take a photo of a sunset? And, you know, when you, even on a phone or a camera, and it just doesn't come up the same way that your natural eye see it. And then it said, you are that sunset. So remember that. And that was just like, oh, even when you can do the best photography ever, you are not going to capture it completely as it is in real life. So be that sunset, and resonate happiness and sunshine.
I love that. That's amazing.
I love quotes.
Oh, quotes are amazing. Yeah, they change everything. That's so good. I think I did you share that on Instagram?
Maybe.
Or something?
I remember seeing it years ago, so I don't know, but I've always remembered that one. So those are helpful. I definitely think researching quotes for me helps. So if the viewers want to try that. Otherwise, I think writing the gratitude list, like what you were saying before, actually really opens our perspectives. I know that sometimes I wake up and I do one at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. And so sometimes I think that I didn't do anything exciting at all that day, but it's something so simple as that you have a roof over your head, that you have food to eat, that you have clothes on your body. It can be as simple as that. It can be that you're that grateful about that. It can be grateful that the sun shined today. It can be that you're grateful that you have a nice family or surrounding friends. But it definitely really, really allows you to think about what you are grateful for in life. And I think that just adds an extra perspective of self-love overall and being grateful.
I definitely agree. And I do them at like different times. Some days I do them in the morning, some days I do them in the evening. Just dependent. Sometimes I wake up and I'm like, God, like I really slept well. Like I'm so thankful for that, or something like that. But I'm just still really stuck on that sunset. I love it.
I know, it's so true. And I still to this day try and take photos of sunsets, and it never looks like it does.
No, it never does.
No, but that's the thing. You're never going to, like, a perfect model is never going to look how she did on camera as she did in real life. So don't let the photo, if you don't like the photo, don't let that, displease you. Be the sunset.
I love it. Oh my gosh. I love that so much. Be the sunset. I'm going to remember that.
That's my little twist. I added that extra part. That's not actually in it. You've got to be like
that. You own that. You own that quote. Be the sunset.
Be the sunset.
Be the sunset. No.
Yeah.
You're so amazing. Thank you so much for coming on our Style Tips and Tricks. I know.
Thanks for having me.
The series, I know, isn't really about style tips and tricks, but it's about, lifestyle tips and tricks of really learning how to love yourself. Because like you said, if you feel good and then you put a piece of clothing on that actually suits your body, it changes everything.
Skyrockets. Yeah, it 100% does. And it's so sad that it took me, I'm so grateful, but it's so sad it took me this long to find you, because I've needed that for so long. I've needed a lovely pair of jeans for so long.
It's so hard to find the right pair of jeans.
Oh, honestly, yeah. And the color, I've never been a fan of dark wash jeans, but they're so nice.
I know. I did a lot of testing for the color.
Well, it's paid off. You're very, very good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
anyone who wants to learn more about your amazing story and who you are as a person, as a photographer, as an entrepreneur, as just the highly intelligent woman that you are, I will have all of Jasmin's links in the description below for you so that you can go to her website, learn more about her there, go to all of her social medias, find her there. Highly suggest that you join her and join her journey. She does amazing things, and I'm so excited for the next 6 months of the year for you. I'm really excited to see all the amazing things that happen in your next journey. And I just think you're an amazing person, and just keep being your own sunset.
Likewise, you too.
Oh, thank you so much. And if anyone has any questions for Jasmin as well, I will have her email as well. So you can kind of email her and see if you guys can pinpoint a time that you can possibly work with her in the future as well.
Yeah, sounds fun.
Awesome.
Good.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for joining. And as always, everyone, love your curves.